Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This project is focused on to analyze of the principal factors to affect English language learning process of 8th grade students at Muisne High School, Esmeraldas 2023. The authors are Myriam Motta and Celina Sosa. Our supervisor is Rebeca Naranjo. From Tejada's 2019 points of view, language has been a concern for humanity thousands of years. So learning new language implies an evolution of methodologies and tools in the search for an effective of universal strategy to teach English. From people, it's useful to learn a new language, in this case, English language, which is the most spoken language around the world because it opens the door to professional growth and allows to live since others' perspectives. However, when the results in the learner process is affected, it's vital to analyze and identify possible agents that are affecting this process. According that, the authors of the present work would like to analyze these factors. There are many advantages in learning a new language. Everything in most students is manifest in the test results and in the students-teacher interaction. Having this in mind, this work will answer the question, what are the principal factors that affect English language learning process of 8th grade students of Muisne High School? Among of the causes, here we have a lack of previous knowledge, lack of performance in the English language skill, lack of motivation from parents. Some parents believe that there is not necessary for their children learn a new language because they think that they won't have opportunity to use it. Also, we have another points such as lack of material resource, lack of innovation in the teacher's side, and carry on in the content years to year. Others may say that the current educational system don't allow them to improve their teaching learning conditions. Therefore, students' lack of motivation could have different origins, and its work will help to find them. Besides, through this study, teachers could answer the questions about problems that the students manifest in the learner process. So if the teachers identify and understand these factors, they would be able to adapt the teaching practice according to the need of the learners. Next, please. Thank you. This is the general objective to analyze the principal factors that affect English learning in students from Muisne High School in the province of Esmeraldas in 2023. The specific adjectives are to identify the sociocultural factors to influence in students' English language learning, to investigate the influence of teachers' pedagogical strategies of students' English language proficiency, to explore the effect of individual learners' characteristics such as age, gender, and learning style on English language learning outcomes. Next, please. About neurobasing, Chomsky concludes that child is born with an inborn knowledge of universal grammar. So the genetic is part of the learner process. From Vygotsky's point of view, another role of language is establishment of communication through the interaction with each other. So, however, social interaction plays an essential role in the process of development. To end, children played an important role in the development of a society. Their process of knowledge and progress can be the key to a successful society. Continue, please. Your microphone.
Thank you. Learning is a complex process of discovery, collaboration, and inquiry facilitated by language. It conveys thought and behavior with the participation of several factors such as cognitive, socio-affective, and environmental. Consequently, under proper conditions, human beings are capable of learning in an effective way. For that reason, it's important to be conscious of their existence and identify them so that if the results of this process are not as expected, there will be the possibility to change or improve the teaching learning conditions in order to have better results. To be more specific, there are some sociocultural aspects like factors regarding age, gender, social condition, native language, ethnicity, culture, exposure to the language, students and teachers' motivation, and parents' attitude toward the language. All those shape the learning process success. Therefore, recognition and analysis are fundamental in order to understand how these factors interact in the learning process. From all the information researched for this study, there were some previous works that have been taken into consideration, from where it can be stated that English learning is a major concern in teaching. Most works intend to answer to the learner's problems. There are several investigations in different countries and some studies research on the environmental motivations, learning strategies, the role of risk-taking when speaking other language, and factors such as dominance of the mother tongue, negative attitudes of trainers towards the English language, improper use of methods in teaching the 4 skills of the language, inadequate instructional media and facilities, and lack of language laboratory. I would like to call your attention to the third work that we are presenting, Evaluation of Sociocultural Factors in the Learning of the English Language in Students of the 7th Cycle of Secondary Education of the Educational Institution San Cristóbal de Paria, Wilcahuaín, Huaraz, 2014, by Julio César Cruz Rojas and Alfred Aderlin Trejo Garcia. The authors refer the existence of a direct correlation between the sociocultural factors and the English learning process, and more specifically between the sociocultural factor affectivity. In this population, that is an indigenous group in Peru. All these works have been useful to reflect on other experiences similar to the main concern of the present work. Finally, this investigation is legally supported by the Constitution of the Republic of Ecuador that guarantees education, and the Ecuadorian Intercultural Law of Education that provides the implementation of the English subject in public educational institutions, requiring the teaching staff personnel with a minimum qualification of a B2. That is one of the aspects that we will be taking into consideration in this study. To continue, allow me to give you some context on this investigation. Muisne Canton is located on the south side of the province of Esmeraldas. This research will be conducted at Muisne High School, a public institution, in students from 8th grade. The population beneficiary of this study will be the 1,000 students under 4 English teachers, and the sample will be composed of 150 students from ages 11 to 13 years old and their 2 English teachers. The type of investigation will be a mixed approach because it will be quantitative and qualitative. This word will be no experimental because no experimentation will be carried out. The hypothesis is the principal factors that affect the English language learning process in the 8th grade students at Muisne High School are of socio-cultural nature. With respect to the variable is factors to affect English language learning process, and the methods that will be used are analysis and synthesis. They will be used to analyze the bibliography and to synthesize the most important theories and previous studies that may support this investigation. They will be used to analyze the results and synthesize the most important information. Hermeneutics will be used for interpreting significant information analyzed in the theoretical framework and in the results obtained with the application of the techniques. Descriptive statistic on their side will be used to process the data obtained with the application of the techniques. Inductive and deductive model will be followed. This work will have a fieldwork design because the researchers will apply the instruments at Muisne High School, which is where the teaching learning process is developed. Regarding the techniques, for students, we will apply a test to evaluate their level in speaking skill. And through a survey, we will get information about their socio-cultural context. For teachers, we will apply a survey to know which methods and strategies they use in the classroom. Through an interview containing open and closed questions, we will find information that could not be obtained through the survey about the teaching process. Finally, through observation, we will have the opportunity to pay close attention to students individually and collectively, and the interaction teacher-students in real time, in a natural way, and in the appropriate environment, in order to have a better idea on how the teaching learning process is developed in this specific case. To collect the data, the instruments design will be according to the different techniques to be used. After the application of the instruments to the students and the teachers, the researchers team will proceed as follows. First, verify the collect data to depurate the information in order not to have contaminated data. Next, tabulate the data from every question to know the numeric percentage of factors interfering in the English language learning process. Then elaborate the statistic tables using figures to visualize the variable and the amount of presence in the students' lives. And finally, analyze the data quantitatively to subsequently make qualitative interpretations and finish by describing this phenomenon in knowledge extension. It is believed that there is still much more to explore in the foreign language learning area, which is why the objective of this investigation is to analyze the principal factors that affect English language learning process in 8th grade students at Muisne High School. To finish this presentation of our project, we would like to say that Muisne is not just one canton of Esmeraldas province. It is a historic location, relevant when explaining the origin of Esmeraldas, since it was in Portetes Island where historical records signal the point of the first arrival of African descendants enslaved by Spanish conquerors, and where prodigious nature welcomed them to freedom. This community has endured several difficulties, such as natural disasters, negative effects due to deforestation, among others. That is why for us, is very important to contribute to the improvement of the English teaching learning process of students at Muisne High School. Thank you very much.